Ignition sequence starts. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Liftoff. We have a liftoff.
Hey everybody, this is the Digital Asset Investor, and I was going to start here on ProCoinNews.com, which is one of my sponsors, but also now I've started using their website because I can get a quick glimpse at what's going on in the markets and see the highlights. But there was one article that I pulled that I wanted to show you that came from there. XRP Ledger reveals plan to power the development of NFTs. RippleX has announced the launch of the fund to support development of NFTs on the network. On-demand liquidity corridor has posted a 130% growth over the past quarter and 2,400% growth over the last year. The ledger runs on XLS 20 standard that will seamlessly power a platform with NFT functionality. And then at the bottom here, they had a video where these guys, this FX Street analysts believe that XRP price will skyrocket to $2. Let's hope that they're right. Okay, wanted to show you this. This guy right here is the CEO of 3AC. I think I read somewhere this guy's a billionaire. He's got like 340,000 followers. He's investing in AVAX. I don't know if his company has to do with that. That was also interesting. I don't even know what AVAX is, but it apparently exploded. So anyway, this guy, look what he says. He says Ethereum, he's talking about how he's abandoning Ethereum. Ethereum culture suffers massively from the founder's dilemma. Everyone is already far too rich to remember what they originally set out to do. Perhaps a bear market is needed to remind them, or perhaps we must build elsewhere, but this is what it is, nothing new under the sun. Reason why previous tweets has 4,000 likes in 1 hour is because users are livid that they were promised a vision of the future, then told they have to pay 100,000, 1K per transaction to enjoy it. Then get told some tales about how they should have been smart enough to buy Ethereum at $10. In other words, I'm assuming he's referencing gas fees here, but the bottom line is Ethereum doesn't freaking work, folks. The transaction fees are a joke, and everybody knows it, and you're not supposed to talk about it because 99% of crypto media is controlled by the people who are big investors in Bitcoin and Ethereum, and so they won't tell the truth about it. ProCoinNews.com will, though. That's why you need to keep tuning in. All right, CoinMarketCap. I wanted to check this out just to see. I did a little refresh there. So the market's having a little pullback. Now, something I wanted to bring to, there's a lot of new people out here. I wanted to bring something to your attention. There's one of the most common things in crypto, and I don't hold it against anybody, but one of the most common things in crypto is, and I've confronted in my daily life every day, is people see what's going up and they glob onto it, and then what happens is then the media starts covering it. But the problem with that is, and that's the reason I've tried not to let this channel be like that. The problem with that is that by the time and then what happens after the prices go up, then all the YouTubers and all the media and all grab onto it, and they start telling you how you can go and buy Shiba Inu or whatever the flavor of the month is. Well, this is an example of that. BitBoy was doing this. He did this video, top 2 coins to make you crypto rich. And I understand what he's doing. I'm guilty of the same thing. A lot of times you'll put a title or a thing there. Everybody does that. That's part of any. It's not just YouTube. That's what they do. How many times do you see breaking news come across CNN or Fox News, and they know that the words breaking news get them views, and so they put breaking news, and that's life. Okay, I can deal with that. But here he's talking about 2 cryptos to make you rich, and the 2 that he mentions are Sandbox and Crypto.com. Now, I don't know anything about Sandbox, and I know that Crypto.com is a big deal and probably will do very well as a digital asset. But what I'm more focused, and so I'm not criticizing him. I understand him. I know exactly how the game works. But what I try to do on this channel is stay focused on what the bigger picture is. And look, when you stay focused on the bigger picture, it can be, in the short term, it can be to your detriment. But I'm like a pit bull that's got a hold of a bone. In fact, one time I was down in Fort Lauderdale, and there was a guy walking on the boardwalk down there, and he had his pit bull, and there was like a tree that had a low-hanging branch, and he would tap a stick on that low-hanging branch, and this pit bull would jump up there and lock its jaws onto that branch and literally hang there. I couldn't believe what I was watching. The pit bull was literally hanging on that branch and would not let go until his owner told him to let go. And that's kind of how I am with this crypto thing. I'm looking I'm not looking at the flavor of the month. I'm not paying attention to what went up 50% yesterday on CoinMarketCap, and I'm not paying attention to what they're asking me. I told you I had my brother the other day trying to talk me into buying Shiba Inu. That's not what this channel's about. What this channel has evolved into, and really it was from the start, is I'm looking at these we've been studying this for years now. And I'm focused on the ones that I believe that this is the second coming of the Federal Reserve. I believe the entire financial system is being remade right now. And I believe that there are about somewhere between 3 and maybe 10, who knows, maybe 15, but I think somewhere 3 to 5 most likely that are going to be the winners in this thing. And I don't think that it's Ethereum, and I don't think it's Bitcoin. And when I say that, I mean those are not going to be the digital assets, in my opinion, that are going to change the financial system as we know it. They don't even know if Ethereum 2.0 is going to work yet, for crying out loud. It's not even out. You know what has been working for years now? 2 of them that I know of that have been clicking along with not a lot of with not only not a lot of fanfare, but while people attacked them, XRP especially. XLM hasn't been attacked as much, but these are the 2 technologies that we've shown, and we've shown you how they're doing presentations to government. These are big picture digital assets. That's what I've stayed focused on. And look, there have been many times over the last few years when staying focused on those and focusing on accumulating those has been to my detriment and other people's detriment. I'm the first to admit that. But that's not why I'm here. I never came here. I did not come here to make some money. I didn't come here, like I know people who are trading and all that. They're trying to make $5,000 here, $10,000. I didn't come here for that. I always say, remember one of my favorite shows, Breaking Bad, that one of my favorite scenes is when Walter White, he says, I'm in the dynasty business. I think he said I'm in the he said I'm in the empire business. That's why I came here. So yeah, you can make some money and you can do the top. Here's what can make you rich in 10 days and all that. You can focus on that. And that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. As long as you understand what it is. It's like you're playing the casino. I'm not here for the casino. I'm in the empire business. I want to create a dynasty for not just my children, but my grandchildren and great-grandchildren. And that's why I'm focused on the big picture digital assets. I think that we're in a place, we're in a one time in 100 or 200 years place. And if you get it right, and you pick just one of that handful, that 4 or 5, just one is going to be a game changer. It's going to be if you have enough of it, it'll be a dynasty maker. You'll have your own little empire. If you choose wrong, you may lose. It may go to 0. But that's why I'm here. And every once in a while, I like to make that point. Now, let's talk about the revolving door between the SEC and Goldman Sachs. And this really pisses me off when I talk about this stuff, but we have to talk about it. Now, this is Chris Giancarlo, who was the chairman of the CFTC. he describes perfectly, and make no mistake, he's talking about Gary Gensler. He describes what's going on in the United States in the regulatory industry with crypto. Listen.
And unfortunately, our regulators, rather than seeing this new wave of innovation as an opportunity to modernize that system and improve it and bring it up to a 21st century standard, instead see their mission more as protecting the old legacy system, defending it against technological challenge. And to your point, what that means is that technology is just like that roaring river is just going to bypass us here in the United States and go where it can be developed elsewhere.
Yep.
It's such a disappointment for a nation of aspirational people, of entrepreneurs, to see us in a state right now where fearfulness seems to be the guiding light for our response to this technology, rather than, ferocity and aspirational approaches to it. We embraced the first wave of the internet, which was the Internet of Information. We sat out the second wave of the internet, which is the Internet of Things and the development of 5G technology, where the United States is not even on the radar screen of developers. And the question is, what are we going to do about this third wave of the Internet of Value? And I'm afraid it's worse than sitting things out. We're just fearful of it. We're being very defensive. It really is a huge disappointment.
No, at some point, I think he's wrong here, and I'll tell you how. At some point, you have to ask yourself if this is being done to the United States intentionally. Remember, when I was a kid, my dad was in my dad was a textile salesman. We don't have manufacturing in this country anymore. They gave it to China. And a lot of people don't like to talk about that, but they gave that to China back in the 90s. I think it was NATO. Anyway, that was handed off to China. They're in the process of handing the new monetary system to China. And at what point do the leaders of our country start asking if this is being done intentional? That's my question. Because then we have this, and this is creepy. In the United States of America, this is who the current people are trying to put in as the comptroller of the currency. This should terrify everyone.
The woman being nominated for the comptroller of the currency role did her PhD in the Soviet Union, and she still refused to hand over her dissertation to the Senate committee, in which she praises the communist system. And she doesn't like it. She wants to remake banking. So you've got potentially someone coming into a position of authority that her express intent is to micromanage Americans' financial lives, which is going to make people flee to cryptocurrencies all the faster. The woman being nominated.
Yeah, but any good communists, when they do flee to cryptocurrencies, they'll make it illegal for you to own them or something. And then there's this. Listen to this one.
Yep, can silence you, and that's the same thing.
And folks, when you listen to this, this also should make you think very, very hard. I've said for a long time, digital assets can be used for good or for evil. Over in China, they're wanting to get everybody on that digital yuan. Then they control everything you do. They can control what you buy. They can control if you're not spending your money on the right thing, or the thing that the Communist Party does not want you to spend it on. Oh well, they can just turn it off, or they can say, hey, let's airdrop you. We're going to airdrop the population some money. And as long as you spend it on X, Y, and Z in the next 5 or 10 days, then you can keep it. But if you don't, we're just going to pull it back into the government. That is the evil use of this. It's not just that we need regulatory clarity. We need this to be set up in such a way that the evil side of this is not how it's designed, because it can be.
They can silence you. And that's the same thing as not allowing you to buy something you want to buy.
Well, how much of a jump is it to go from that to say, you know what, your digital money will disable from buying ammunition?
Yep.
Right?
Folks, make no mistake. There are people in the United States of America who would love to be able to use digital currency for that.
How much of a jump is it from that? Not a jump at all.
Easy, right?
Right,
Easy.
You don't even have to outlaw ammunition. You just disable digital money from buying it. And I had somebody say to me, okay, no problem. I'll just stick with cash. And my response is, but what if government gets rid of cash?
Right.
Once there's digital cash, they can easily get rid. They hate cash, as you began.
Hate cash. Oh, they
let's get rid of cash. So, again, Chris, we have, free citizenry needs to fight every generation once again for its liberties.
Yeah.
The fight for the future of money is being waged right now, and it's time for free citizenry to saddle up and get ready to get in this fight.
Yes, and the reason I showed you all of that is because we need to be contacting our congressmen because of stuff like this, on top of the whole thing going on with Ripple and XRP. Because make no mistake, the same Gary Gensler types, this is the type thinking that they have. These people, it's not a coincidence that they're trying to put someone in the OCC who literally thinks like a communist. That's not a coincidence, folks. And I'm not weighing in on political parties. I don't do that on this channel. But when there's certain things that are said and that are in your face obvious, I'm not going to ignore them. Okay. Now, speaking of, TAIG XRP says to Hester Pierce, hey, just circling back again, can you answer this one for us? And he's asking, this is where he says, first of all, I want to thank you for your reply. I do apologize. We're frustrated, Can you imagine, since there's no ongoing litigation with Ethereum, can you answer whether the SEC, we'll see, lost my place here. No ongoing, can you answer whether the SEC thinks Ethereum's a security? And she says, rather than analyzing the status of particular assets, I need to focus on building a sensible and clear regulatory framework for crypto. Well, there's two problems with that. The first one is this. Look, I understand Hester Pierce is, if there are any good guys in the SEC, she's one of them. Okay, I get it. But the problem with this is, as we sit here right now, Bitcoin and Ethereum and the quote clarity that has been given to those two digital assets by the SEC is what continues to guide the markets. That is the guidance that they've given, and that's the fact, Jack. And unless you get specific about those two, the market continues to march down a lying path. Okay, and here's the second problem she's got here. Second problem is, in the course of all of us uncovering all of the things that are wrong with how Ethereum got the free pass, we have also uncovered things said by Vitalik Buterin and Joseph Lubin that lead down a path of worse problems, things that the Justice Department might want to be aware of. And Hester Pierce, she works for the United States government. She and all of her ilk have a responsibility to turn over anything they see that could be things that are not legal, turn them over to the Justice Department. And so that's also her duty at this point, if we still have a country. So, but she points down here, she says, this DM Logic says, I'm guessing you understand why that's an incredibly frustrating answer to keep hearing, but your hands are tied. She says, I do understand, and refers to this lawless, where she was talking, basically saying the SEC is lawless. I mean, so if they're lawless, then Hester, you can be not lawless, and at a minimum publicly refer these guys to the Justice Department. We've put the video up, and hey, I'm not even saying they did anything illegal. I'm just saying potential things that were illegal need to be shown. The video's there. It's their own words, it's not mine. Anders L., it is worth mentioning that the World Economic Forum mentions this, even though the Ripple lawsuit is going on. XRP. This is November 2021 Digital Currency Governance Consortium white papers right here. It says examples, potential for privately created digital assets to facilitate CBDC. Examples include the utility settlement coin and XRP digital assets. Such assets may serve as a bridge currency in cross-border interbank payments. And Anders L. says, by the way, if you want volume, then you would want XRP used as a bridge between wholesale CBDCs. Retail remittance is a good start, but taking over 100% of retail remittance market would only mean $2 billion per day. And then, look, I want to show you this. This is from Link to They're showing you how many about unicorns. Listen. Link2, who's one of my sponsors, litecoin.com, they've got a literal unicorns database on their website now. 906 unicorns. You can literally click on them once you've got an account, and you can click on them, and they're blurred out because I'm not logged in. But if you have an account, you can find out everything you want to know about these unicorn companies. And then, of course, Link2 is listing a lot of these unicorns for sale so that you can buy the private equity as well. So you need to go check that out. I'm the digital asset investor. I'm not an investment advisor. This is for entertainment purposes only. Please subscribe, hit the like button, and tell your friends and family to go study up on these unicorns. But first you need to open a Link2, litecoin.com account, and see, you can find out if you're an accredited investor to buy some of these things.